So we just watched those videos on the table saw. We're going to talk about this over here a little bit before we get going. A couple things that we need to know about these. One, these are the exact same. This one is the exact same as that one. Nothing has changed on them. Okay? But I do also have two of these that have come up that we've popped in the past couple of years. So I'm going to send these around. You guys can look at them. These are the saw stops. These are the blades that actually have been hit. So you can see what those look like. Alright? Now, these two table saws, like I said, are exactly the same thing. Here, you have a fence and a fence there. We have a red handle that moves left to right that you can move and set your fence where you want it to go. After that, we also have these things called miter gauge. You got the green one, I got the one that came with the saw right here. These are a miter gauge. This will do angles. Some of you guys have seen me working on this, some of you have not. That is that zigzag cutting board we talked about at the beginning of the year. Just set them right there on the table. So we have the zigzag cutting board. We'll actually cut it at an angle on here, go through, cut strips, and glue those strips together. So there's the zigzag. Now, I'm going to walk over here so you guys can see this for you guys. So I'm going to come just like this, open this up. There are two wheels on these machines. The one on the front is a wheel that lifts the blade. To the right, brings that blade up, left brings it down. Same thing over here. This is called the arbor wheel. This makes it go to different angles. So if you want to cut, if anybody wants to make a Thor's hammer, which I have people that do that all the time, you can set this blade at a 45-degree angle and cut Thor's hammer out. Actually, you glue it all up. Then you go over the blade, show you how to spin that down, spin your handle, drill and glue your handle in. Now, we have this box here. This is the control box. We have a switch here and a switch here. Okay? All this is on. Right now it's green. It means the system is charged and ready to go. If I take and I touch this blade, right now, I'm just touching it. I'm not doing anything other than touching it. Right? The machine's not running. It's flashing red telling me that that electrical current is already broken up. Okay? That's not good. I'm going to crank this back down. Okay? This one will be set up for tiller boxes starting this week for your bond pieces. Now, I'm going to go through, I have a piece of scrap wood here. Okay? We're actually going to cut that piece of scrap wood. We also have here, I have the guard on this one, don't have the guard on that one, because I got to do the parts to work on this. What is our margin of safety that we need to maintain? 3 inches, right? You guys can answer it all out. Okay? Now the other thing is, if you look at those blades, there's a little bit of a circle at the bottom of each blade. There's a big circle, there's a little circle in the middle, and each individual blade up here, there's a little circle at the bottom. That's called a curve. That's the bottom part of the blade that you need to see what that looks like. You're going to take that piece, and I'm going to crank this down. This is a little bit lower than what I've been using. Put that curve just a little bit above my the top of my material. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to cut this, I'm going to kind of square it up. Now we talked about joining everything. We plane and we joint. Okay? The joiner gives you a flat edge here. So everything you do should be from here on out. Every project will have one flat edge, and that edge has to go against the fence here. Now with the fence and the miter gauge, you never use them together. We just saw that kickback video where the guy got hit right in the stomach area with that video. You don't use the miter gauge or the fence. That's two 90-degree things working against each other. It's not a good idea. Alright, so you're going to rip, you'll use the fence. You're going to just, a lot of times you're going to cross cut, a lot of times with plywood, we'll cross cut with a miter gauge, not the fence. Okay? But if we're ripping, we're going to be using the fence. These get stored right on the outside of the machine. If you're cleaning that area, make sure those are there. I'm going to put that one away myself. Okay? Again, with a 3-inch margin of safety, you need to make sure that that's there. For this, it's right about the end of this guard. This will actually come up right on top of your material, keep it down. The also nice thing about these guards is they have the anti-kickback knives here. You look at them. If it starts to kick back at you, that digs right into your material and will not fly back at you. So, I'm going to run this through, I have it set. Now, when I run this through, I'm going to keep pressure back into the fence. Keep pressure into the fence and run it through. And I'm going to use my push stick. I'm going to have push sticks and boxes underneath. So grab your push stick before you turn the machine on so you have it. And that's the nice thing with these fences is there's a little table in here for you to look at as well. So that red switch is the only switch you mess with. It's a big panel. You pull it out, turn it on, you push it to shut it off. Now the nice thing is, when you do this, you can hit it with your thigh. The bad thing is, when you do this, you can hit it with your thigh. Sometimes when you're working with it, you'll bump it on accident. Okay? You got this on. I'm going to push this in. I'm running it through. 2 hands. There's that. I'm going to switch. And I'm like that, like that. And up right through. All the way through. And I shut off the machine. Now, my part, the piece that I cut off, went down to the machine, which is fine. We have that dust cut and I'll just suck it off. If it was still here, wait till the machine is done. We'll lift this up. Pull out all your parts. Now you have a perfectly straight board on both sides. Okay? Alright. You guys have about 5 minutes or so to work. You want to do some work. Good day.